Yeah, my pre-teen years and I think my early teen years was just wasted. I mean, that's subjective.
Well, other people didn't play video games that much, and there's people who haven't played who didn't get addicted to RuneScape, and they're still shit. There's people who played RuneScape and they're successful. Or like, you played RuneScape, but didn't have connections and shit. Didn't have a healthy household.
I don't know. All I can really remember from that period is just playing RuneScape and then going to family events for holidays. I think I just blocked out everything that wasn't RuneScape.
I have no regrets playing RuneScape. That's right. There's no other memories to be had.
Nothing that was worth remembering happened anyways. Who needed to go outside when you had woodcutting to level? Some of the best times of my life was just bullshitting with people at Drainer fishing and chopping willows.
This reminded me that I recorded a dumb video where I was explaining a dream I had where I was in. This is actually the best fucking idea ever. It's like, imagine Dark Souls 1 combined with RuneScape graphics. And like, you have to harvest wheat and flour to bake into cakes to be your healing items for a boss battle or something. And like the combat's like Dark Souls 1. You're just like, you're fat rolling in like rune armor, swinging a giant Zweihander around. A giant two-handed adamant sword.
And you just have to stand there and hit zeros. And roll again. I mean, I think there is a contrast to RuneScape and Dark Souls 1. I mean, you start at the bottom with fucking nothing.
Okay, like, in the dream there also, I don't think there was rolling, but it was like, because that would be stupid. It would be awesome if it was just like clunky, clumsy, medieval combat, just like how RuneScape looks, but on the Dark Souls 1 engine. And like, also, when you die, you lose everything. And then I don't know how it would work. If it would be like an MMO or if it would be Phantom still. But just like, all your shit just falls on the ground and then some asshole just walks over and takes everything. Closest thing to that is in Dark Souls 1, apparently if you die with a shitload of humanities, some random player in the entire fucking world playing Dark Souls 1 will see a humanity crab where you died, and he can just pick up your humanities if he kills it. But, like, Dark Souls 1 engine with RuneScape graphics. You know, RuneScape was actually more extreme, because dying was the end of everything.
I think the cause of my childhood anxiety was because of RuneScape.
Like, the one acquaintance I have who I played RuneScape with one time, he remembers it like yesterday, when like I died with a full set of rune armor and I started crying and destroyed my keyboard. He was also in RuneScape, playing from somewhere else. It's fucking awesome though. It's like death has consequences.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other game that comes close to the sheer emotion that that game brought. You worked literal days and weeks of your life
to get that rune armor, and then you just die.
and that's it.
Just have to accept it and start over. And you will.
You either quit and be a fucking baby, you start again.
Now you'll be a baby for like an hour, and then you would just play again.
Just wipe the tears off your face and
Just
go kill cows for cowhides. Sell them.
Walk back over to Draenor Manor, pick up that bronze chainmail and that bronze helm, and just go back to grinding for gold. Go pick up that bronze square shield from wherever the fuck it was.
It's kind of like life in a way. You know, you work hard towards something and you get fired or some shit just doesn't work out and you try to get over it. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Other times you just have to dust off your boots and pull them back up and get back to it. So what RuneScape teaches you. You can't win them all.
You're not king shit of the world. You're just another kill for someone better. Sometimes you just gotta walk into a bar and just massacre like 500 men and women, regenerating your health off of beer that keeps spawning on the table. Sometimes you just gotta do that in life.
I mean, I'm not one to talk, but, you know, sometimes when times are tough, you might have to resort to thievery just to pay the bills, you know?
You just gotta walk to the marketplace and you just gotta pickpocket for days on end. You gotta pickpocket the same guy over and over. And then sometimes
you gotta steal some cakes or some pastries from marketplace just to feed yourself.
Sometimes you just get caught and they just say, hey, stop, and then they punch you. And then you get dazed for a second, then you just gotta steal again. As soon as they turn their back.
And when you're finally on top, you get ready to do that big quest, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Back to square one. Defeated.
Yeah, like when you're actually going on a quest to slay a monster, it's like a one-way ticket to death. It's like you either gotta win or you lose everything. Sometimes you feel like exploring and you get on a boat to a random island. You walk out into a jungle and a bunch of niggers shoot poison blow darts at you. And there's no antidote, so you just die. Lose all your rune armor again.
There's nothing you could do about it. You just resorted to packing crates of bananas for 30 GP each. Everything just feels so difficult. You just want to make your way in the world. I think RuneScape did prepare me for life. Because no matter what, there's always going to be the assholes on top who just, it seems like they cheat all the time. And then there's you.
It lied though, because it made grinding and tedious work seem fun. Like, it never got old asking what everyone's fishing level was. You just like sat and you just talked while you were fishing.
You just ask what their level was and replied, nice.
Nice.
And that just kept you going. Because you think one day I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have that wood cutting level, fishing level.
Then you go chopping wood, and then you ask, what's everyone's wood cutting level? And everyone says nice. And then, like, you're out making fires in the shape of a swastika, and you ask, what's everyone's fire making level?
It's just nice.
And sometimes, like, you participate in a holiday event that gives you, like, a ring that lets you turn into an egg. So you just, like, go to the noob area, and you just, like, turn into an egg. And then just, like, a crowd of people just gather, demanding to know how you did that. And you just, for the first time in your life, you feel like you're on top in that one moment. It's like the high point of your life. All those people not knowing what you know.
Everybody wants to be your friend.
Everyone's trying to pick you up. They think they can grab that egg. But that egg is just saying LOL at them repeatedly. And noobs. Because that's the only way to, like, make yourself feel better after being killed in the wilderness and being called a noob. So, like, you take it out on other people and say, noobs, you don't even know how to turn into an egg.
You just resort to going to the noob town and promising people that there's plenty of riches to be had in the north. You just convince them that there's tons of diamonds and gems and money. And you take them to the wilderness, and it's not funny what happens up there. And then their mom calls you on the phone and demands you give them their items back. And you say sorry. Because you thought you were being slick.
It's like sometimes you just walk to Varrock and you watch someone get teleported into a cage and you just throw a rotten tomato at them. To get one over somebody.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You have a lot of, like, pent up emotions from the stress of adventuring, stress of death hanging over you at all times.
I don't think anybody. There's very few people who have this experience. Just walking from the complete other side of the map to Varrock to share your travels, share your experiences. Like a lot of areas, you could just be walking and just die instantly. You had to know a lot of tricks, a lot of tricks to the game, just to make traveling sufferable. And then some rich asshole just teleports. And then you read something on Rune HQ and says you have to go back. You have to spend another hour walking because you forgot something.
And you're just exploring, and you run into the beginning of a quest, and you can't go forward without the quest item.
Yeah, before the Grand Exchange, it was tough. You had to go out and find items that you needed. You couldn't just walk up to a place and put an offer in for something like fucking eBay or Amazon.
Then you capture another stink bug, and you have to flush it down the toilet before it spreads pheromones.
I think I would rather have stink bugs than fruit flies right now.
And then you decide to go exploring again. You decide to go check out what that desert area is. And then you find out you just signed up. You've just signed a check you can't cash. And you're like out, you're like suddenly struggling to survive in the middle of a fucking desert for like 5 hours. Just like trying to stay hydrated and running like town to town, just trying to stay alive. With like scorpions and shit popping out. And then you find some random town like far out along the edge of the map. And like you're like so stressed out you can't even like figure out what's going on. And then you're like, you go exploring some more. And then you like go down a pit. And then you find like 30 players fighting a giant scarab. And you just run.
You just want to explore the whole thing and you just run and get killed with something 60 levels higher than you.
And you try to just settle down and you claim a house in Varrock, and then someone else comes into your house and says, "Get out of my house." Because player houses didn't exist yet.
Duh. And you just hang outside the bank in Valador and try to find players who are chicks and try to get them to come over your house and try to dance on them.
It's like when you claim that house in Varrock, and then like you go upstairs and you use your Easter ring to turn into an egg, and you just like hide in the corner of a room, and then you witness a cyber sex session happen right in front of you, and you just sit there as an egg, and you just watch it happen. You just watch it out of curiosity to see what people talk about in a cyber sex session. You just watch them dance at each other. And they just never see you there because you're just an egg.
Yeah, that's about it for that. I mean, anybody who played that can visualize exactly what you just said.
That's how I remember it, at least. It did something to hide out of view. I just assumed that it was the egg transformation.
Sometimes you might be a little bit confused. You just work up 3,000 GP. And you go get your sex changed by a wizard. But only on the preference because you've seen people do it. So you just get free stuff.
You can just see what it's like, too. But actually, I never did that, but I played that quest where you have to get past that knight who says, "No man can kill me." So you have to go over and pay the witch to give you a sex change. So I just so you just try to run over and get that over with as fast as possible before someone sees you as a woman. So you run, so you kill the knight, you claim the quest item, so you run back to the witch and change back, and then you're walking out, and then some guy is running at you, and he says, "You were a woman just now." I'm like, "Yeah, it was for a quest." It was literally for a quest. I don't know what that guy's deal was. I don't know who he was, why he was watching me, why he ran after me, just to tell me you were a woman, just now. Well, you have to do that for a quest. I don't even think he believed me. I was just trying to tell him it was for a quest. I was even telling him what the quest name was. He's probably disappointed.
I don't know. I think Jagex knew something that we didn't by putting that feature in the game. Just like how when you just do that to get free shit off people, and then other players won't stop messaging you. They just add you and harass you all the time because they think you're actually a woman.
It's it's also sometimes you see all these people getting GFs. And so you're just walking around Lumbridge, you're just passing through, probably because you're trying to get your smelting up at the furnace there. That's the closest furnace to that Al-Kharid mine. So you're just passing through Lumbridge, and you see a female character saying, "Anyone want to be my BF?" And then you're like, "What if I say yes?" So you walk up and say, "Sure." And the character says, "Okay." And then I don't remember what happened after that. I think we just went our separate ways. And then that character PM'd me later. He's like, "Where are you, baby?" And then I just put him on the block list. It's like, I can't deal with this shit. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what you're supposed to say.
I just did what I had to do to get money. I didn't know any other way. You just make yourself a girl and put on a pink skirt and a witch's top. Just walk around and ask for a BF to give you shit.
You just slut it up. Make some money, get your rune armor back.
It was just an opportunity.
You just see scantily clad females in the slums of Varrock, and you ask them how they got there. They're like, "I've fallen on some hard times. I got killed with my rune armor. So I'm like just trying to make. I paid a wizard to change my sex. So I'm just trying to make my money back. There's just like a whole demographic of people who just change their sex to prostitute for gold. Oh yeah, and then I saw that female character later surrounded by men. So I just so I was just so like even like little me, I just like stopped dead in my tracks, saw her, and I just like turned around, ran the opposite direction.
You never attended a dance party?
On RuneScape?
Yeah, it was just, you just danced around in a circle. And there was a woman in there. And she would just judge everybody how they danced.
I would just go to the party building in the member area. Do that. Place with the tiled floors. Next to that fishing area. Next to that mountain with the wolves on it.
I don't know, everybody was so concerned about making money in that game, and just a lot of times I would just log in and just walk around and take in the atmosphere. There's definitely a lot of peaceful places that I would just go and bring a friend. We just talked about our 12-year-old problems. Like there's fucking forest, it's just a waterfall, and there was just random buildings that the developers just put in there. I would just go in there and just hang out, just talk.
Yeah, just go to random buildings. Stand at a bar. Go to the Adventures Guild that behind the locked door and just stand on the railing and just yell at people to stay out because they're not members. They should just make a game. They should make a game that's like Dark Souls 1 and RuneScape. Just imagine how fucking hardcore that would be. You had to like you had to spend like an hour baking cakes to like go fight a boss.
And then when you die, you lose everything.
It's like, what if you lose everything, but if you can get back to your retrieval, you can get it all back? That would be pretty badass. That'd be extreme. You would have to fucking go back to the beginning of the game and punch enemies to death to get souls or wait. No. Gold would be better. That would be awesome, actually. Just like your retrieval will just be sitting there with all your items, but you still have to go grind gold to buy armor to make the quest to go get your retrieval. That'd be badass. Someone needs to make that.
I don't know. We live in a world now where everybody wants a boss skip button.
We live in a world where Dark Souls has to involve endless rolling. Oh, for one thing, it would be so easy to model shit to look like RuneScape. I mean, that's like RuneScape graphics is like Alone in the Dark 1 through 3. Where it's just giant blocks, giant polygons, barely any textures.
It's just like different shades of colors, different shades of solid color.
And then just like it would just be like Dark Souls 1 without rolling, basically. It would be clumsy as fuck combat like it should be. Maybe you could roll if you're like not wearing anything. You're wearing like the leather armor, the hide armor.
Combat to me is just standing there and taking turns with your enemy, just hitting each other.
Selecting your method of attack. See, like, your R1, R2, and L2 could just be the different selections you have for attacking. It's like slash, chop, stab, block. That would just be awesome. I wish the game existed now. You could actually get away with that. You could just rip off. You could just combine Dark Souls 1 and RuneScape, and you would just have a game that people would play. And there would be no copyright infringement. You could even call it Rune Souls and say, this is a new franchise. This is a new label.
I think Darkscape would be better.
Fine. Guess it sounds better.
I would pay $5 a month to fight extremely ridiculous bosses in members only areas. And spend 3 hours getting ready, gathering materials for a quest.
You would
Definitely.
It would take months to like beat the game. You'd have to spend countless hours like getting a scythe and like harvesting wheat, taking it up to the windmill, grinding it into flour, milking a cow, going to the castle kitchen and like putting an apron over your knight armor and like baking a cake.
Yeah, like
Just stuff a chocolate bar in there and it's a chocolate cake for slightly more health.
I mean, it'd be pretty challenging. I mean, it might require you to open up like an Excel spreadsheet to like manage time. Like, all right, I'm going to spend 3 hours baking wheat, grinding it into pots and with flowers.
You'd like summon a phantom or something and say, go. You would just gesture at the wheat fields. Just make it work. You're like, I hope I get summoned to fight a boss, and then you just get told to collect wheat to turn into flour to bring to the kitchen. So you get all this like armor on. You're like ready to fight like a really hard boss, and then you're just like milking a cow for like an hour.
Yeah, it would make you think about how to approach boss battles differently. By actually putting in a fucking full shift before going in.
I would like willingly make that my second job in life. Just be playing that game. I wouldn't even give a shit about wasting my life on it. And then it's like when you finally get all your shit together, and then you're like fighting the boss, and it's like really awesome combat. Just like really awesome, badass, like dungeon crawling and fighting a big like dragon. And like in total, it's all like 10 minutes. It's like 10 minutes of extreme, intense, adrenaline rushing combat between like 6 hours of farming, cooking,
Walking.
doing some odd jobs, make some gold, burying bones to get your faith up. Just like imagine Blight Town is like that jungle island on RuneScape. It's like you just you just get on some boat, just go to an island, and then like you just get toxined. You just fucking die because you didn't know you were supposed to have an antidote. So you just run back out there like totally ass naked. Just to grab your shit. Like if you could at least like get your retrieval and just like slowly die closer to the entrance. You could potentially make out with your items. That's actually a pretty badass concept. Like, that would simulate some asshole stealing your shit after you die. If you could just run back there in time.
You're just visualizing. Like, that's like the worst couple minutes of your life, just running back to where you died. You're fighting a battle within yourself. Just there's a part of you that thinks it's your shit's still there.
It's like normally the worst moments of Dark Souls 1 where you're trying to get your retrieval back. But like magnified like 1,000 times because it's also all of your items. And then you just like trip and fall off a ledge. Or you just get like invaded. You just get you die. You're on like a quest to get your retrieval and you're just totally naked, just try to run around the enemies, and then you just get invaded by a guy in full knight armor with like a halberd. Or like a guy with like a gigantic sword.
He just walks over to you. Just looks at you. You just accepted your death, but he just won't swing the sword.
Just savors the moment. Then he doesn't even dignify you by killing you with his blade. He just uses miracle force to blast you off the ledge. I want to upload that video of Darkscape just so someone steals that idea and just makes it real. Cause that would actually be like the greatest game ever made. That would be the most autistic, most difficult, most satisfying game ever made.
Somebody's gonna start a Kickstarter and then they're gonna run off with the money and patent it, so it can never be made.